This is Beloninked Up, and I'm doing a tattoo machine review tutorial only because I'm gonna tell y'all what y'all should be looking for when purchasing a tattoo machine if it's your first time, and what I did wrong so y'all can learn from it. Not necessarily it's the correct way of going about it. You could always buy a tattoo machine just because you want to try it out, and it might not be for you. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tattoo machines. I've tried them all out, and I'll tell you where I started and where I've ended up at. My first tattoo machine is not on here. It was a coil. It was like a cheap $30 machine, and for shading, that machine is perfect. And it would probably still be most of the time, whatever machine you're using. If it's shading, I typically shade with lower voltages, so whenever I'm shading, I let my hand dictate the machine that I need. There's a lot of artists that tell you this machine is good for everything, but then sometimes they say if you turn up the voltage, move your hand faster and move your hand slower. I typically let my hand dictate, so however you're gonna get to learn the machine, do what you're gonna typically do over and over and over again. If the machine is not adequate enough for you, change the machine, or up the voltage, or slow down the machine, or change needle cartridges. Buy bug pins, being that they're more refined needles is going to do less trauma to the skin, so you have more time to play with the skin, and so on. But that you'll learn on the field. As far as machine goes, so today I'm going to review, this is a Stealth. That's a $100 machine. This is a Hummingbird, $160 machine. I don't know who makes this one. This is a coil machine. I think it's made here in Texas, and it's a $300 machine. This is my lining machine. I don't use it anymore, but I've had this machine for over like 8 years, and this machine is on point. Never missed a drop as far as a line goes. It's solid. It gets it in the first time. The only problem is people always say that's loud. It hurts. Stuff like that. And then I also have an Axis rotary. This is just a disposable cartridge, but that's an Axis rotary. I got the 3.7 cam on it. I also have a mass tattoo pen, the little one. It comes with a battery when you buy it together. It's a mass battery. I reviewed the DK Lab tattoo pen maybe a couple months ago. I'm gonna say like 6 or so, and I said it was really good. At the point in time of the review, it was really good. It's been a couple months now, and some of the bearings inside of it messed up. They say it is the replica of the FK Irons Flux, and since then I've talked to people who actually had the Flux, and they've also said that it has issues. Not trying to talk down on it, you can still buy it. It may work out great for you, but I know a couple people that if you're trying to spend that kind of money on a machine, I know a few people that have the Cheyenne one, the pin, the expensive one, like a rack, and they have not had no issues. And I know 3 or 4 people that have that machine, so the fact that 3 or 4 people have that machine and they have no issues, consider that if you're trying to spend that kind of money just because you want a name brand machine. This one, the pin is actually lithium, even though it's a replica, so the battery still works 10 hours lithium. But the bearing in here, something's up with it, and it starts eating into the walls. So after a few months, some bearings mess up, and this is the replica of the Flux. Is the DK Lab 3.7 millimeter, I believe, as far as the thickness of it goes, so you don't get carpal tunnel and stuff like that. Really good machine when I first got it. For the way it was putting in the lines, perfect. I thought this machine was gonna go all out. I did everything with it, lining, shading, until it started eating into itself. That's the only flaw. So DK Lab, I mean, $300 machine to eat into itself is not the greatest thing, being that on sale the Axis you can get that as for $315 without this piece, which is just disposable tattoo grip, but it's a 3.7 cam Maxxum motor, easily to take off. Vice grip is perfect. The rubber band, well, sometimes when I'm using it, the rubber band's slinging in my face. That's a flaw. You wouldn't want, to be working and then getting slung in the face with it. Since I'm trying to give you advice as far as why I got into where I'm at and where I like the machines to be. The only flaw with this one, whenever you're not trying to use a wire, wrap up the wire, buy a power supply, buy an RCA, foot pedal, etc., you could put a battery on it. That eliminated all those things. That was a $50 battery, eliminated power supply, eliminated RCA, eliminated clip cord covers, eliminated foot pedal. Okay, so $50, you can cover this up, wrap it all up together, wrap this up. But the weight is now all on the back. So when you're using the machine, after a couple hours, that weight is shifted, and that bothered me. Nothing wrong with the battery, nothing wrong with the machine, really good machine. This is gonna be my backup from now on. Okay, and this is only a $317 machine. Three. So I've upgraded from that. I used the mast. There's nothing wrong with this one. As far as with the pin, nothing wrong with it as well. During tattoos though, it is a lighter machine. There is certain things it cannot do based on its weight and how it's hitting into the skin. So sometimes you have to go over a couple lines twice. Not very typical for a tattoo artist. You want just one pass, perfect. Continue on. So this is a backup machine in my case, being that I have the Axis one first for my backup, and Coil extremely last because of the fact that I don't carry clip cord covers whenever I'm gonna go. I'm considering doing a tattoo expo next year. I'm traveling, so I won't be carrying this. I want a setup that I can easily put up, easily take out, tattoo, cover up, make it really sterile, sanitized, and not have so much things to worry about. So if I carry 3 machines, it'd be the Axis, this one, and the last one. That's where I'm at. I'm currently using the Scion by FK Irons. For its price, it's really good. I'm still using it, so as far as it goes right now, it's really heavy. Not an issue. I'm saying it's really well made by what I'm saying it's heavy. Like if it falls, this thing does not feel like it'll break. This is solid. I would assume it's cast iron. It doesn't feel like aluminum. It's really potent. I've done 9 RL, I've done 3 RL, 17 mags, 9 mags, and 7 mags. And I don't have to go over anything. This is very, very good. This would be a whole nother review. The only downfall of the battery, in my opinion, the shape is only made for this machine. I try to put it on my Axis, and it doesn't go in all the way. That's an issue. I believe it still turns it on. It does, but it's barely hanging on there by a thread. So this is a $250 on their website. It is really good lithium battery, 10 hours. I've used it up to like 6. I have had no issues. This is where I'm at right now. The machine is about 590 of, let's say, 600. The battery is about 250, but it lasts 10 hours, so you don't really have to do anything else. As long as you're using this on a tattoo show, if for any reason the battery dies on you, just take it off. Oh yeah, that's where I was at. So that 10-hour battery runs out on this pin, which I like using and I want to continue using. I was gonna say throw in another one. No, their design is only for their stuff. You cannot just throw on a mast on there because it doesn't fit on the top. Downfall. So I can only use this machine with this or RCA. But being that I'm trying to minimize my equipment, that's a downfall. Another downfall, and this is what I'm using, this is what I love using. Everybody's gonna critique what they have. Don't critique what you don't have. And even then, you use it because you love it. So I'm not talking down on FK Irons by any means. This is what I'm using. This is what I love using right now. Another issue of mine, I didn't really read through their manual. Who does? When you charge this battery, there's no indicator on here telling you full, empty, 90%, 50%, no indicator. You charge it, you really don't know where it's at. I would like to know, unplug it full, start using it. I use it 3 hours, then charge it 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever I need to get full capacity every time I'm using it. These cheaper ones from Mass, on button, it's on. They have little things right there that tell you what voltage you're at. Turn it, push the on button again, it's off. Charge it, it tells you how many volts it has in there until it's full. And you unplug it. Simple as that. $50 battery. That's about 5 or 6 hours. Perfect. I have 2 of them. I just put those on my Axis, and it does, and this is a $300 machine, it does the same thing, a $600 plus $250 battery, so somewhere around a rack together, $350 batteries, another $100, so like $400, and I'm doing it right here. No issue. I don't even have issues with these you just throw them away, wrap them up, get good cartridges with membranes, nothing goes up. You can wrap this up, the whole thing. Just throw away your cartridge. You know? Throw away your tubes. You can get stainless, but you know, do whatever you need to go further in your career with what you have, and eventually upgrade to something like this, or get something that's versatile. Like not trying to talk down on this one, Bishop. I think they're going around for $600, but the way that the top is designed on the Bishop, you could keep putting different power supplies, I believe, on it. I'm not absolutely sure. No, you can't. Don't quote me on that one. The way these Mass is designed, they got this little metal thing around it, so you cannot put that on top of the Bishop. The critical power supply sticks out, so you can actually use the critical power supply on this one and on the Bishop one. So it's just the Mass one. The way this was designed, and this is what I currently have, I wish they would work on other things, but based on this little metal trim around it, it does not work like that. So, but all around machine, FK irons, bolt, 10-hour machine, take it to a tattoo show, have no issues. If need be, I use another machine. I could always use a Axis with 2 batteries, get about 10 hours out of it as well. Well, for that issue, if I eventually upgrade and get another machine, I more than likely won't upgrade, because I'm sure this machine is still going to be up to par with any other machine coming out. I would just be upgrading the battery and get a critical battery that I could put on top of it and give me another 10 hours. Boom. I did not talk about this one. Sorry about that. This is a Humminbird. The issue with this one was, for me, this little part right here. When you adjust this grommet on top, sometimes this wants to do its own little thing, and eventually it just starts moving up and down regardless of what level you put it on the top. After I've seen that, I had just had it with this machine, because it would go down based on all those little moving parts that it has. This is a $160 machine. You buy it on, I think it's either Bronc or Humminbird website. Motor comes off easy, motor still works and everything. There's just too many moving parts in my opinion. A lot of things can go wrong. It was never doing me the actual depth. At one point I actually had a needle go a lot further than what it was supposed to, and I just took it out of use. I was like, I can't have that. I cannot be doing a tattoo and then my needle just slings out somewhere. Whoa. Things about being a professional is you have to notice things like that. If you ever take out a needle from a packaging and you feel like the tip was bent, throw that needle away. I never had those issues. Now, based on experience, you start adapting. I only use these needle and cartridges at the moment. That's Peak cartridges. Peak cartridges. They're about $25 a box. Have no issues. They're curved mags, and then book pin liners. Tapered needles, less trauma to the skin. You can work harder, longer, for more period of time. Wrap up your whole machine. I typically put tape on this, then put medical bondage on this. Then I put a sandwich baggie over the battery, put more medical bondage, throw in the cartridge, and I'm ready to go. If you have to buy a machine right now, I would advise you to go ahead and get a pin. Get a pin that you can put a lithium battery on top of it. They're typically going for around $250. In my opinion, you should go with Critical because of their design. Sticks out. It has no metal trim around it, so you can put that on multiple machines. You want to get a machine that has a Maxxum motor. I think that's the top of line motor right now that they're putting in tattoo machines. You want to get a machine that's going to last for a long time, so get something reputable, something from a website that is well known, either being FK Irons, Bishop, Axis Rotary, one of those. I started with $300 coil machines. Everything is upgrading now. Batteries come included in the machine. So yes, you're gonna spend more than $300, somewhere around the $500 to $1,000 range. But this machine, you just cover it up with a sandwich bag. You wrap it up. Don't worry about nothing. It's 10 hours. Maybe get another battery, because battery may eventually run out. If you don't want to spend $1,000 and you have the money right now to buy a 600 and a 500. It might be a little bit more expensive, but then whenever you get a Critical battery, eventually upgrade to the one that has 2 batteries and have one machine. If it ever goes out, your backup machine, 2 batteries, you know? You might spend $1,000 and then $500 on batteries, but you still be like $1,500 and you're on 2 machines and you got 2 batteries that are lithium. I don't have that opportunity. I, started from the bottom, came up, but then you have some machines that you don't really need on your arsenal. Eventually you have to get rid of it or keep them as, luxury toys. But it'd be better to have 2 machines. If you have to choose 2 machines, Zion, get yourself a Bishop. They're reasonably priced, and get you Critical battery supplies and put them on top. If I buy another machine, I'll probably end up getting me like a Bishop shader, just because of the fact that this is a badass liner. If I don't, I'll probably get me a Packer, only because of the fact that I want a stronger hitting machine. If I ever want to go super light, I'll just get like a super refined Magnum, which is going to be like an 8 bug pin. That's the thickness of the needle that's coming down. Either it's going to be 8, 10s, and 12s or 11s. I'm not sure of the last number, but it's 8, 10s, and 12s. Get yourself a really refined needle, pick it all the way up. Most average people's skin is 2 millimeters. You can just go in 2 millimeters, pick up the Magnum, and shade it in soft. Build up layers until you get the color that you want. Other than that, as far as machine goes, like I said, pins are the future. Next time I do a video, I'm probably going to do a tattoo bed review. I have had cheap tattoo beds, middle line, higher end. Haven't gotten the most high ends that are like $1,700 tattoo beds. And I already know which one I want. I don't have it, but I'll probably get that one soon. Y'all stay tuned for that.